We've just been driving over Mobile Bay that opens up directly to the Gulf of Mexico. And this is a place that I like to bring my son. A lot of times I'll bring him here before I take him to preschool because he calls it big water. And he likes it, and it's a way for me to figure out a way to get him to pee before he goes to preschool. If I can't get him to go at the house, he'll always go out here. He loves to pee in the woods. He's a real Alabama boy, right? There was a Walmart, there was a gas station, a one cinema movie theater, and a Chinese restaurant, and that was it growing up. And but it's changed a lot. I literally, and I tell this story from stage all the time. Growing up here, I never heard another language other than English until I was probably 16, 17. And my dad traveled the world. He's been around the world 4 or 5 times. In our attic, he had all those little still slides, projector slides that of his circumnavigations of the world from the 80s. And so I used to pop those in and really kind of piqued my imagination about the broader world. So I was determined to get out of Daphne, Alabama and go see some of it. But ironically enough, here I am right back at it. And now we're almost to the street that I grew up on. It's called Thompson Lane. My dad bought this tract of land back in the early 80s when there was nothing here but trees. And it's still here. It wasn't until I got older and moved away that I started to appreciate the things that define home for me, the elements that make up what I call home, and water's a huge part of that. There's something kind of meditative and soothing about just being able to go out on your daily commute to work and see like a massive body of water. The reflections, even the breeze that comes off of it. There's so many little things that just add to your daily experience being on the water that I'm just not gonna move if I can help it. My brother Josh is my partner in crime. We started a band called Roman Street years ago, and we play a mix of Latin, jazz, acoustic guitar, improv stuff. It's fun. One of the funny things about writing instrumental music is you don't have the lyrics to direct listeners' attention to what you're trying to talk about. We try to do that with the rhythms and the note selection, and so much of what we choose is what we hear in our heads when we're out on the water. And it's been very rewarding as a musician to hear the feedback over the years of people when they listen to my tunes, even people who don't know me at all. They hear my music and they're like, man, it just teleports me to an island somewhere, or it teleports me to, it reminds me of this cruise I took through the Mediterranean, or, And the examples go on and on and on how it evokes this image of water, and I think water just brings this peace to people somehow. If you're somebody who does what I do for a living, you get a lot of attention, people asking you a lot of questions, and you're around people a lot, and I love that. But for me to really go and kind of get in tune with myself, I like to go out into the middle of whatever body of water I'm staring at and just chill and just take it in. It's hard to replicate that feeling. Possibly the thing I love most about my board is that it gives me access to all these areas whenever I want. The natural world definitely affects my creative process. One of the things that I feel whenever I'm out in nature, more times than not, is this sense of perspective. Like it has a way of making me feel small when I'm staring at a mountain that's so massive and so old and so permanent. or I'm looking at an ocean that's just so vast. But at the same time, it doesn't make me feel insignificant. It makes me feel like I'm a part of a greater moving thing, and that makes me feel good, you know. And then it turns my brain on, and I get creative, and I think about how I can add to what's going on, and it's a good feeling. Riding a Radinn board is like a lot of different things. It's a little bit like skiing in powder. It's a little bit like flying on the water on a jetpack. It's a little bit like surfing. It's a little bit like skateboarding. It's a very unique experience, and I'm completely hooked.
Anyway, we've had a great day. They got the video crew out here, and Noah's been on his board doing his tricks and just having a great time. I think we should amble on back in now.
Experiences in life are very important to me. The connections you make, that could be a conversation with a person. It could even just be with the natural world around you. I mean, I think those are the things that impact you as a person, and the things that you remember. I mean, you buy a car, you sell a car, you forget the car, right? But you don't forget where you grow up, and you don't forget the things that you see that really impact you. Like the first time I saw the Swiss Alps, I'll never forget it. The first time I played music on a stage in a room full of complete strangers, playing music that I didn't know, was completely improvising. I'll never forget that experience, and I think that's really what's important. That's really what colors in and flavors life for me. I'm Noah, and I make waves in Alabama.